Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the Help Academy Sports Coach 2023. I want to talk to you today about a session that I've developed that I want to utilize this week to help with the build-out play for my 2011s or my U10s. First off, apologize for my voice. It's kind of going in and out. Definitely made it difficult coaching this weekend. I think sometimes the parents don't think I yell enough already because I like to watch things develop and have those conversations and let the players make the decisions on the field. And it was easy to do that this weekend, not being able to yell too much. The one thing I saw this weekend is we're obviously being U10, we have 9 and 10-year-olds. We really are focused on building out and trying to get the players to scan the field. And I think those two challenges are things that are kind of diametrically opposed sometimes with the thought process of that age group. They want to go forward. They see what they see. They're just developing spatial awareness. It lets up goals. Sometimes they've been trained like, don't go back in the middle. Get it out, boot it, things like that. So it's a lot of getting them to trust their instincts, getting them to trust their teammates. And, sometimes things go wrong and it's hard for them to build the resilience and to be able to deal with that. And, they get nervous on the ball when they're under pressure. They don't want to make mistakes so close to their goal. So it's a lot of, kind of massaging the ego and telling them, it's okay. We made a mistake there. Here's what we can do next time. But I think I want it to be a focus for our sessions this week. So I've worked on some sessions for building out the back. And I think you can sit there all day and just do building out the back where you have different levels of pressure and just do patterns and things like that. But I kind of wanted to break it down with more of developing the sense of checking your shoulder, knowing where your opposition is, and not just turning on the ball. I think a lot of times we take the ball, my team in particular, take the ball, and they immediately try to turn. And then they're like, okay, well, whatever happens, I'll figure out then. I don't see a lot of scanning right now, and that's something I really want to focus on. So the first, I really like this concept. I saw, a trainer online using this concept of picking the ball out from a pass between your legs and then scanning. So in this one, I think I did a session either this month or last month where I showed us utilizing this drill, but now I've added, instead of a 1v1 or a shooting drill, this is now a 1v1 to a pass. So the ball goes between the two players' legs. The player in black is picking up the ball, and they're checking their shoulder and scanning to see if the player in yellow is overcommitted to one side. And they're using that to pull a step over. They're using that to pull one side, turn them up, put them on hip, whatever. But then from that, we're looking to create the space to put a pass to this player. So we're simulating turning, turning with pressure on our back, and creating space to find passes in those situations. I think a lot of times our guys get into a position where the pressure comes and it's immediately, I got to do it myself. I got to get a field. I have to create a ton of space, or I'm not going to get this pass off. Like, I have to be wide open. And this one kind of works on teaching them you don't need miles of space. You just need to create the angle and the timing and the separation and putting the defender in your hip to make that pass. So that's something we're really going to focus on in this drill. The next one I'll set up will be, I don't know why, but always the transition from the player jerseys. It's been killing me. So in this one, we'll have, player receiving here, 2 cones here, or 3 cones here. So passer here, and a defender over here. Now these cones will probably be a little closer, maybe. I can move them, freeze when I'm in players. But here we're working on checking our shoulder and turning into space under a little less pressure. Because now, I think one thing is when the player has pressure on their back, I talked about all the shortcomings there. But the other thing is when we don't have pressure on our back and we don't scan, we just turn, and then we don't feel the pressure, and all of a sudden the pressure is there. So in this one, the player receives a pass to their feet, And what we're doing here is scanning. So we talk about scanning twice. We scan before we call for the ball. I can't tell you how many times I hear Johnny, 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 which we always talk about. I took attendance at the beginning of practice. I don't need to know everybody's name. Tell them what you want. Johnny to your right, Johnny to my feet, Johnny, whatever it is. Where Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. And I look at the kid, and there's 2 players on his back. And I'm like, what are we doing? You're not open. So in this situation, we're working on scanning the field before we call for the ball and while the ball's en route. Okay, and that's kind of a leap of faith for them. They're like, if I lose sight of the ball, I won't be able to trap it. So we all have time. When the ball's about to be passed, you'll know. Check again, and then you can make the decision. So in this one, wrong one. We have the player in yellow run around when he's cones. And again, I think, I'm not maybe doing justice. They should be a little tighter than this. But they have to run around one of the cones. So what we're doing is instead of doing it, I've seen it done 1, 2, you go this way. I think those are good. I think they're fun. But I think there's something to be said about having the visual cue and seeing, making the visual read, because in the game, you're not going to call it numbers. You're going to have to pick out what the defender is. So I think we read the situation where the defender's on this hip, so our turn's here. And you can make this go into goal. You can make this a 1v1 to a pass, whatever you want to be. But again, we're training the player to recognize, he's over here. This is where I should take my run into space. Oh, he's over here. This is how I should have my body shape, and this is where I should take my touch, where I should go into the attack. So there's 2 different ways I thought about doing this, but I think what I'm going to do is I would just run through, get everyone in position, talk about build out and what we do, roll the ball, do the shadow play, roll the ball here, where would you go, turn here, and do those just patterns, and just have them run it through it and just be like, all right, I want the ball to go here, 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 and, go from here, and again, I'm not going to go through it because it's really kind of whatever you, whatever your plan is for your build out play. But from there, what I would do is I would split the field into 2. If I can. I would split the field into 2 and cut it down the middle and have, because oftentimes what we have is we play to one side and the other side kind of just gets bored because they're not getting the ball as much. They're just transitioning a lot. Specifically the outside back, because we don't always go back over through the outside back. So a lot of times they'll kind of get stuck there. So to increase the reps now, what we have is a goal. Side goal here. We can do it here. We have a goal here, simulating our playing through our central mids, and we have goals here, simulating playing through our wings. That's the wrong one. There we go. And what we just have here is 4v4 on each side, with equal amount of defenders. Goalie plays ball here, they play. Goalie plays ball here, they play, and we're just playing kind of half. So what we'll do is, we find our 2. 2 goes out to the 7. 7 plays back into what would be our 6. 6 scores a goal on, which would be the pass to the 8. So we're making the field. We're playing on the part of the field where we want to be. We're simulating some of the pressure we'll feel. And yellow wins the ball here, they go directly to goal. And we're creating rewards for the specific outcomes we want to see, is getting the ball wide to our winger, getting the ball into our 8 so we can switch. So they're not switching per se, but we'll tell them, if that ball goes here, it would be received on the half turn, and then we're going to switch the grid. You even can then have, at an additional level where you have goals over here, where if this guy gets it, you replace this goal with a player, and he's able to receive on half turn, and he plays 2 players up here, and they go to goal. You can build off and get creative there. But I'm going to first introduce this drill on Tuesday, and I think for my guys, I think just the initial drill will be enough. We're going to spend time going over it and learning the drill, and I think sometimes that just takes so much time that you just want to get them on the ball. And then I like to do that drill and then maybe follow up on Thursday. We do the same drill, but then we have that addition, and we're just kind of building upon it. Let's get perfect at the one, not perfect, but as good as possible with the first development, and then move on to the next session and compound those ideas. Where instead of having like we did this on Tuesday, we did something completely different on Thursday, and let's try to mishmash those together on Saturday. So from here, I'd go in and probably do for set piece things. What I do is I generally play, every out of bounds is a reset for the first 5-10 minutes, so we're getting high reps, and then just go to a straight regular game where they're playing naturally, and we're hoping the build out that we've been working on comes out in a natural run of play. So I'd love to hear in the comments some of the ways that you utilize build out and how you teach it in your games and some of the sessions that you utilize for developing stronger players in the build out phase. So one more time, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with Albuquerque Sports Coach 2023. I hope the session finds you well.